right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this another live special with Ryan and I. Ryan, happy birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday. You threw me off there.
Yeah, Bourbon turned 6 today. So
big time, big celebration.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're excited to have everybody here. Excited we've got a few people join with us. So I'm not going to bore you with too much of Ryan and I. You all know too much about us already, but we're excited to be able to doing another barrel selection live here tonight. And tonight we're doing a George Remus MGP special. And I want to introduce one of our special guests here today. You heard him back on episode 293 of the podcast. It's Not All Contract Distillation at MGP. And we have the vice president of brands from MGP on the show tonight. So Andy Mancini, welcome.
Kenny, how are you? Good to see you.
Are you drinking some of your own good stuff right there?
I absolutely am. It's 9 o'clock Eastern, and I know where my children are.
There you go. I'll have to say, so Fred did a blind tasting for one of my friend's birthdays Saturday, and the Remus won the blind tasting.
Well, great.
Out of Old Fitz, Elijah Craig, and a few others. So, it's good stuff.
Thank you. We're really
number
proud.
4, right? Remus Repeal Reserve 4 or something, or 5? Which one was that? Do you remember?
I think it was 4.
Is it?
Yeah, well, 5 hasn't been released, and it's number 4 is my glass. So I think it's safe to say it was 4.
Okay, good deal. So what can you tell us about 5?
It's going to be very interesting. We've got multiple mash bills in that, and
we're picking it tonight.
Surprise, everyone.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. David Whitmer and the team, we settled on this back in December, and it's just, we're waiting to get it to the right maturity, and then bottle it this spring and release it in September.
That sounds like the bourbon game. You just hurry up and wait.
That's right. That's what we're doing.
Can't rush perfection.
Awesome. So you of course, Ryan and I, we're both from Louisville, and Andy's actually we could probably toss a football between all 3 of our houses. How close we all are together.
Maybe a driver, but yeah,
maybe yeah. Well, how about a
Bryson DeChambeau driver? But it's all good.
Yeah.
punt kick pass maybe.
Yeah.
And we've got Jordan Welker on the show. Jordan is another Patreon supporter of ours. Jordan, welcome, man. Where are you from?
Thank you very much. I'm currently in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, actually in the process of moving to Columbus, Ohio.
You going from one control state to the next?
Yeah, I'm from Ohio, so I'm used to it. But yeah, it's better than PA. That's for sure.
You'll be able to find Weller 107 on the shelves in Ohio. Wow. Apparently, that's the only good thing about living in Ohio with bourbon that people tell me about is, you can just find Weller whenever you want.
Yeah, it's not $35.
Ohio loves George Remus, both the regular and the reserve. So
that's where I got mine. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Where in Columbus are you going to be?
Dublin area.
Yeah, we lived in Dublin. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Muirfield Village is there. One of my favorite golf courses.
Yeah, it's a big golf.
We lived in Muirfield. We lived in we had a condo in Muirfield, and on every Memorial tournament, I would collect about 300 golf balls in my front yard because I was right in front of the driving range, and these pros were like just beat it. I mean, across the street, across the houses, that all lean in my front yard. I get all these fresh golf balls and I can go play. So
and they're nice Pro Vs and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, get those Pro V ones.
Yeah.
Those are like
sell those things on eBay.
Oh my God. Yeah, they were great.
Yeah, that's great.
Jordan,
great
safe
spot.
Travels to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Echo that statement. Yeah, actually, safe travels. And so Jordan could join us. Unfortunately, Matt McNeil was not able to join us. He was supposed to be the other person that had samples. Unfortunately, the United States Postal Service dropped the ball, and somebody's sitting with,
batch 5 of Remus.
Batch 5 of Remus somewhere. So, unfortunately, he will not be joining us tonight, but we're making it up to him. But yeah, I hope whoever at the postal office is enjoying their MGP samples. But let's go ahead and let's get into it. So we have 3 different barrel samples tonight, and while we go through this, we'll if anybody in the chat has questions for Andy that we didn't ask on the podcast, or things that you want to know more about the brands and stuff like that, and really kind of what's happening inside of MGP, feel free to ask it in the chat, and we'll put you up here on the old screen here so people can kind of see what's going on. But
we'll put Andy in the hot seat.
Yes,
all those juicy questions.
Yeah, and they'll be like, break it up. You can't hear. No,
it's all good. All right.
I'm sorry, you're buffering.
It's a dream come true.
So, Jordan, I forgot to ask, have you actually ever done a barrel selection before?
No, I have not. So this is technically the first time.
Lucky you.
Very cool.
Well, this is our first time we've ever done a Remus barrel for the show. So you're going to kind of experience Jordan with this with the rest of us. So we'll see what we got here. But I know that
disappoint.
Yes. And we can't be like, Andy, do you have one more sample you can bring out here for us so we can just make sure?
Well, what I do have is I have all the deep, dark secrets of each sample. So I'm going to be, like the Grammys, I'm going to be the neutral party observer here. But I have all the details. So when you guys are asking questions, I can answer some of them. And, the thing about this barrel tasting process that we've done over the last couple of years is we really just want you guys to taste and select on what you like. Because, so many times it's like, well, I want this age or I want this mash bill. It's like, what is great, what works for your palate, and we'll work through it. I mean, I've got all the details, I will tell you, what year it was distilled. And I'm gonna tell you all samples that you guys have tonight were distilled in the same year. They were all aged in brick houses. And from that, and they're all cast strength. So, you guys can have a fun time and just pick what you love.
Perfect.
That sounds easy enough. So, Jordan, just let you know, we've got 3 samples here. You should have numbers 344, 549, and 572. There's no right or wrong way to do this, but I will line them up from in sequential order, so I can kind of keep them in order. And I've also got a notebook to write anything down and sort of tasting notes. But typically, at least what I like to do, I'll nose them all first, and then after nosing, I'll start tasting. So, but feel free to belt
3,
out
4, 4, 5, 4, 9, 5, 7, 2 in that order.
You can count.
I can do math.
You can do it. You can do it.
Sure.
Just feel free to belt out anything you're thinking or saying or anything like that. There's nothing scripted to this. So if there's a note that stands out to you, let the people hear it. And I also will say, I got a message from Shem earlier, Cecil, and he is putting all the pressure on you to lay out all the tasting notes that you get when you're doing these. So he has something to put on the website when these things finally go on sale.
Oh boy. All right.
So the pressure's on you.
So I really have to work tonight. Can't
pretty much. That's what it
enjoy. No,
that's what it comes down to.
All right. I'll get my notebook out then.
Well, Andy, there is one question that came up in chat here, and it says, is MGP looking to expand any brands in Kentucky besides Lexro products? But you have all your Remus and everything like that already in Kentucky, right?
Yeah, our entire portfolio is in Kentucky now. In fact, we just launched our new gin brand, Green Hat, 3 weeks ago, and it's making its way through Kentucky now. So, the citizens of the Commonwealth of Kentucky can rest easy at night knowing that anything that MGP Brands produces is now for sale in Kentucky.
Love it.
We're hiding nothing from the Commonwealth.
Green Hat, that was
where did we have some MGP gin, and it was really good.
It was in Memphis.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's not the same stuff.
No,
Green Hat.
Yeah,
Green Hat was an acquisition you all did.
Different. Yeah. Yeah, we're the largest gin distiller, but we're not talking about that tonight. And we acquired Green Hat last year. They're a great little craft distillery, gin distillery out of Washington D.C., and it was about 3 minutes before COVID hit. So we're just rolling it out now.
You paid top dollar right before COVID hit, huh?
That's right. That's right. Well, now it's aged gin, so hey, it's all good.
Here's another one, and I bet you, Ryan, we could also take this. Does MGP have a stance on a sweet spot for aging whiskey? Like, is anything over 12 years too much? I mean, I've had anything from 8 to 15-year MGP, and it's all solid.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the brand, I'll let Andy kind of talk about that, about what kind of goes into something like their Remus Repeal reserves and everything like that, because I know that's a blend, and they try to find different ages, higher ages, and different mash bills and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the general rule is that when you're aging anything in oak, it can get too old at some point, right? But there are environmental factors and there's mash bill factors involved. But for us, we've launched with Volstead in 2019. That was a 14-year-old whiskey, and what we try to do is very simply with the George Remus mainline brand, we try to keep everything between 5 and 8 years, and with Repeal Reserve, it's 10 to 12 years, and because we just think that's the sweet spot. Not because younger or older are bad, but that's what we really like in our warehouses.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Ryan, you picking up any, or Jordan, any kind of different noses on these? Like, I feel like they're all very similar on the nose here.
I've only smelt one. I'm since Shim announced that I had to come up with tasting notes. I'm like,
you're gonna take it serious.
I'm dialed in.
I'm gonna give you a little hint that all 3 of them were distilled and barreled in 2016.
Okay.
They're different mash bills though. So you probably, and I'll tell you the other thing, they're all aged in our brick houses. So you should have a lot of similarity between these two, because just, sitting on the banks of Ohio in a brick house, you're going to get the same sort of influences of weather, right? It takes longer to get it cold and longer to get it hot, and really it's the nuances, right, of the palate that you're going to be looking for, because of those 3 samples, you have 2 different mash bills of George Remus that you're tasting.
All right. So do people always say, I hope I picked the 36%? Because that's what I'm thinking in my head. I was like, I wonder if we can pick out the 36%.
What, you're sampling 344 now?
Well, yeah, I just tried.
Or you're drinking through all of them?
Oh, I'll drink through all of them. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, and then I'll try to see if I can do it.
Do people have a preconceived notion that they want the 36% because that's like the mecca of MGP, allegedly?
I keep going back, and 549 has a bit of a rye note on it, unless I mixed one of these up, but more than the others.
I think you're right.
They all got I'm only on the second one, but a ton of like kind of allspice, baking spices, nutmeg, kind of a little bit of citrus on there.
Yeah, citrus for sure.
A little orange peel, maybe.
Maybe. Second guess yourself on that orange peel. Maybe it's a nectarine.
I think it's there.
Maybe it's a clementine.
Maybe it's what's those little small oranges my kids eat?
The clementines, the cuties.
Clementines.
Yeah, the cuties. Yeah, the cuties.
Yeah, they're clementines. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's Caroline, one of our good favorite people over here too.
A little bit of creaminess.
Cinnamon stick. I can kind of see cinnamon stick on some of these. That's for sure.
I mean, it's kind of classic for for our bourbon that you would get a lot of baking spice, right? Especially because we're a high-rye bourbon, you're going to get a lot of cinnamon and cumin and cardamom, and it's really a sort of, I think, a function of where that barrel is, where it is against the wall, and how high up, and sort of, and the barrel a little bit as well.
Yep. Yeah, I kind of get that, like, that hot tamale candy, not like a tamale, corn tamale, but the
Mike and Ike.
Yeah, the Mike and Ike stuff.
Yeah.
Hot tamale stuff. Like sugary, a little creamy with a cinnamon spicy thing going.
Well,
That's
Andy, I'll tell you,
49.
there's a lot of people in the chat here that have picked up Remus picks from local stores and stuff like that. So it sounds like you all are doing a good job of getting the name out there.
Dang, Caroline just nailed
it brings a tear to my eye. It's nice. I mean, I'm glad people are excited about it. Big Red Gum. It's
Big Red Gum.
Yeah.
She just nailed it. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Or
you get that kind of that sweet, hot, sweet.
Yeah, there's definitely like a sugary component to it, but sweet and spicy.
Speaking of Big Red Gum, when was the last time you tried Big Red Gum? It's been a while.
Wasn't that the one you could eat the paper with it?
No, that's Zebra Stripes.
Or Zebra Stripes.
I was going to say, I was like, I don't remember you could eat the paper with it.
Maybe you can eat the paper, but
I mean, what's wrong with me? We did that in Bardstown. I don't know.
For me with these barrel picks, it's a little bit like Atomic Fireball, right? I mean, you're getting that hot spice, and then you're getting that sweet. And you think about it when you're sampling a Repeal Reserve, right? It's 12 years. I will tell you all the things all the samples you have right now are 5.5 years. It sort of matures into that Dr. Pepper, cherry cola, kind of subtle, sweet, savory. Yeah, you can kind of see where that fire, that bubble gum, not bubble gum, but the cinnamon gum, kind of makes its presence known.
What's the proof on these?
Well, they're all
barrels. Be all over the place. Yeah.
So I will
all be cast strength.
Yeah, they're all cast strength, and I will tell you that all of them are over 112. And when you guys start to settle in, I'll give you the exact details. But they're 5 years over 5 years old. They're over 112 proof. And our entry proof is 120, right? So and we're on the banks of the Ohio River, so you're going to get a lot of moderating influences. We have a lot of our whiskeys tend to be more mellow than hot, because we have we're all of these, by the way, you're tasting came from brick warehouses, so they're 2 feet thick, and they have 2 feet thick walls, floors and ceilings. So they're their own aging chambers.
Did it used to be like a parking garage, and you were all like, let's just turn it into an aging warehouse?
That's right, yeah. And then and then as everybody started to go to the suburbs, So yeah, we just said, hey, bring a barrel in. It's okay.
You can park it here.
Yeah, right. I mean, that is one of the things that's like you all, and then what is it? Castle and Key, the old Colonel Taylor. Yeah. I mean, they've got a massive warehouse that's all basically concrete. So
yeah. I mean, to replace our warehouses at Lawrenceburg today would be about $1 billion. I mean, it's like, if you're really mean, bring a summer intern and said, count every brick. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it's why we're on the historical register. It's like you can't replicate these warehouses anymore.
I still have yet to go to MGP
we need to go up there
and actually visit the distillery and stuff. Yeah, I definitely want to do it sometime. It'd be fun. I was driving by. We were going to Perfect North to go tubing a few weeks ago, and you got to drive right by there. And I was looking, I was like, I wonder, is that it over there? Like over in the distance with all the basically the industrial clouds of smoke over there.
Yeah. Yeah, that big tower, that big red thing. Yeah, that's us.
Yep.
That's them. And their barrels have the bung on top.
Yep.
That's something you don't usually see. Only with MGP barrels.
Yep, that's true.
Makes it easy.
I got Caroline texting me right now. She's like, "Which barrels do you have? I wonder if we got the same ones." I guess she's picking over there for Justin or something like that.
He doesn't have the same ones. I know it. I know for a fact.
There you go. See, we're good there, Caroline. So she even sent me the picture of what she had over there. So really cool. Let's see. I know Shem was the big advocate for this. So shout out to Shem because he got a Remus store pick and he was like, "You all need to do one." And we're like, "Okay, fine. Twist my arm. We'll drink some 5-year MGP." And that's another question. Is I know that you were kind of under the gun to get these barrel selections done because I think with the purchase of Luxco, I mean, I think there's like some merger things going on. Like you are trying to get these barrel selections done early. Do you know when you're looking to get them bottled?
Well, actually, this program is literally very separate from and divorced from the Luxco purchase. I mean, we did this program last year. It was very successful, and we're trying to we're replicating the same process this year. Just to kind of put a fine point on it, Kenny, we start January 15th and we run the program for 60 days till March 15th. And the reason for that is that,
that's it for the year.
Yeah, that's it. Once a year.
Wow. That's efficient. You sound like us when we record podcasts. We're that's it. We're only doing it like 2 weeks out of the 6 months. That's
all we're doing. And it's because there's just so much going on with the company and we don't have our own bottling line. So what we do is, I'll just tell you, we work with Strong Spirits out of Bardstown, and they're phenomenal. They're great partners. And we take over their bottling line for 90 days because every single barrel has to be dumped, has to be proofed, has to be registered because they're all different, right? I mean, that's sort of the magic of this program. And they work with us, every step of the way. And we custom label and we custom print, and then we basically hand pack and hand load the pallets. So it's a very it's a laborious process and done with love. I mean, we're not complaining, but that's why we only have 60 days to sell it, because it takes so long to go make it happen and bring it to you guys.
Well, cool. That's one thing I didn't know. It's a very efficient and interesting process. Since you don't have your own bottling line, it makes sense though.
Oh, so there's no bottling line at MGP?
Not currently.
But with the purchase of Luxco, maybe there is a bottling line in your future.
There's one or two.
Several on that. Yeah.
There we go.
But we didn't want to interrupt this program to bring you a new acquisition. So we
No, I get it. So Brian asks, will these be bottled at barrel proof? Yes, they will.
They're all barrel proof.
Andy will give us the details when we do our selection and we choose which one we want. We don't want to be swayed by the proof. So once we make our selection, he'll give us the dirty details here in a little bit.
We will.
Let's see. Okay, Andy. This is one that if it's too dicey, just say like, I'm not going to answer this one. All right. Will contract distillation be reduced as MGP looks to expand brands like Remus and others in the future?
No. The contract distillation and the brands are null sets. We can grow both of them, at exponential rates.
You've picked up another.
One does not beget the other.
Right. Yeah, we had some good debate on the whole MGP and Luxco purchase on a previous roundtable, and we hypothesized all of our ideas of what could potentially come out of it. So we're not gonna put you against it. Maybe we'll circle back in a year in ourselves and see if any of our ideas ever
Our
came to
crystal
fruition.
ball was
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, I look, both processes beget each other, right? I mean, the fact that we can distill 24/7 for nationals, multinationals in the craft, great. And the fact that now we can scale our own brands and continue to grow Remus and Rossville and Aiden Sand, that's exceptional. I mean, we need that capacity. I mean, literally for the fourth time in 90 days, we're out of stock in Kentucky on George Remus. So,
Wow.
and Aiden Sand. So,
Good deal.
yeah.
Jordan, what are you feeling over there? Is there one you're leaning towards yet? We're still trying to sample your way through them.
I'm still going through because they're changing a little bit. I'm leaning towards 572.
Yeah, there's
some kind of like
A little sweeter.
a little sweeter and like a little bit of fruity.
Creamier. The mouth feels a bit more viscous.
Yep.
I'm
It's
really
like-
feeling 549.
Yeah, I'm torn between those two.
Yeah.
And that wasn't because Caroline just texted me
Ooh.
about some other barrels in the 500 series that they selected.
She has her own barrels. I know that for a
Yeah,
fact.
What are you finding in 549?
36% rye. No,
Man, you're a Jersey chaser.
I am. No,
Who cares what mash, like Andy said,
I think,
get some you like.
that's right, though. I think that's right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, with 549, they're totally different. Like 549's like that hot tamale, big red gum since Carolyn said it.
Mhm.
And the other one's a little sweeter, a little more like depth to it, not so robusto. It's a little milder.
What's going on with 344? No one's talked about that.
That's.
Question.
I just made a note about that one. I'm getting a lot of vanilla, but one sip ago, I got like an old fashioned.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
got
whole cocktail in a sip.
it's really sharp. Like it's got like some citrus like notes, but it's like really sharp and like it just like finishes fast. Like
It
it's
does finish fast.
like
Yeah.
like really thin, sharp.
Okay.
Whereas the other two are more like they develop as they go through.
But Jordan,
The
when
palate.
you said an old fashioned, I definitely get like an orange peel kind of taste to it.
Yeah,
On
it's like Ryan
344.
said. There's a definite orange citrus,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's cuties or not. It's
Yeah.
citrus.
That is amazing.
What do you get out of it, Andy, when you pick this one?
You know what? Here's the rule that we made as a team: is that we're going to taste through everything, but we're not going to comment on it. We're not going to influence people.
That's a smart move.
I've got all the details. And I've got all the tasting notes. You guys have great palates. So that's all I'm going to say.
What I'm just curious on your tasting note, or do you want to wait till the end to tell us?
Yeah, we'll save Andy's for the end. He'll do what Al Young used to do to us.
Oh yeah, you should have picked these.
You picked the wrong barrels,
I
guys.
won't do that. Listen, here's what we're going to do: is you guys need to pick what you like, because that's what you're going to commit to, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll talk about the others. But there's the interesting thing about our bourbon is that it doesn't really matter about the mash bill. They're just so. I think the flavors are so integrated. It's really a matter of what your palate says to you. I really mean that. I mean, do you like a little more rye? Do you like a little less rye? Because you're gonna get really great flavors out of these barrels and out of this mash bill.
Yeah, and it's really good for 5.5 years old too.
Oh yeah, It's
Mhm.
really
Yeah,
good.
I mean, look, part of what we decided to do with this program is to keep everything 4, 5, and 6 years old. So we couldn't, people are like, oh no, I want your honey barrel. Well, it's like it's 4, 5, and
So do we.
Yeah, everybody has that. Yeah.
right. And we all look. The brands team believes that if you want to do a single barrel, what you're looking for is something that is unique and special and talks to the palate, that you like, that you want to sell to, or that you want to purchase. So, these outliers are, great to talk about, but I mean, again, it's sort of like, here's the 100 rated Cabernet from Napa, and we made 4 cases. Who cares? I mean,
Right.
what we want you guys to do is enjoy this barrel and be proud of the barrel you're buying, because you're buying about 29 cases, right? So, it's 180 bottles or whatever you want to call it, and you want everybody to say, I'm really happy with this selection. So,
For sure.
we're trying to do the kind of the regression against the mean here.
I get it. There's a question from Whiskey Nose is, can you tour MGP? And last time I checked, it's a no, correct? Unless you're there for.
Yeah, that's a kind of a 2-part answer. Is that
Yeah, you can if you know somebody, but not if
Yeah,
you're
no.
nobody.
No, Luxpro.
So the answer is A, pre-COVID, please call us. We'd love to enjoy, entertain. B, COVID is, we have not opened up the distillery yet. However, we will be reopening, as vaccinations increase and as herd mentality increases as well, because we cannot wait to get people back to the distillery and have these experiences. I mean, it's just, last year when we did this program, 80% of the buyers came to the distillery, and they had that that special experience and a free lunch, and they got to sample through. So we're hoping to start that up again.
For sure. Well, about that whole COVID thing, Ryan, I don't know if I've been now that like things are slowly opening up for like 1C here in Kentucky, I've been like refreshing my Walgreens, my Kroger, my CVS, all that sort of stuff. And literally nothing in Louisville. However,
Thursday.
Is that what it is? Thursday is when it really starts opening
Thursday,
up?
9:30 for me.
Oh, look,
Oh, for your
lucky you.
vaccine. Yeah.
I was about to say, because I was looking, there's all kinds of appointments in Southern Indiana if I want to go to Clarksville, but you're not allowed to. So I'm just like, what the heck? Like Southern Indiana's just got openings everywhere, but not a single thing in Louisville.
My wife and I got this email last Wednesday night saying, hey, you need to sign up now. And so we got online, and it's like, boom, next Thursday. I was like, okay, we'll do it. We're going to go to Broadbent. We're going to stand in line, hang our arms out of the windows. So.
Get lunch after. Make a day of it.
There you go.
I know. I don't know how, but I'm somehow deemed an essential employee. I guess lawn care landscaping was. So I'm technically can get it, but
you're essential to me.
That's all that matters.
Let's see. There's another question here. For any off-profile barrels that you get, I mean, do you think they go into the program or do they go into a normal product?
Let me answer this a couple ways. We sampled over 1,000 barrels for this program. That's both George Remus and Rosso Union, and the team, the blending team back in Lawrenceburg. I mean, they all have managed this thing as a team. What we were trying to do is we sort of set a standard. So, high and low, left and right, sort of what are the parameters of profile that we want to be able to present for this program. And then they started we launched this in January. They started last September, pulling the barrels, reserving the barrels, and we're trying to get as broad a spectrum as possible so that people wouldn't be disappointed. So, we are feeling pretty good about the quality of our barrels. That we don't have these like kind of lone things we have to go to the corner and shoot and reblend and all that. We don't do that. I mean, we got pretty good. We got pretty good whiskey. But the other thing that I think people need to know is that with George Remus mainline and Rossville Union mainline and Ayton Sand, we are constantly filling barrels to fill our brands, and so to do the single barrel program is incremental to everything else that we're doing, and we're moving through. And let's forget about all the other source barrels that we're trying to fill and service for our customers. And just talk about us. We got massive amounts of barrels that we're dealing with because we're reserving bourbon for Repeal Reserve, and we're reserving for the next Volstead, and we're reserving, for Rossville Union Reserve. So when you think about it, we got a very limited number of barrels that we can dedicate to this program. And so what the team is thinking about is, sort of like, what's the breadth and depth of flavor and style that we can present to consumers and customers that they might like. And so what you guys have been tasting through is just, I know 3 samples, but that's 3 out of 1,000 barrels that we worked on since September to try to, make sure everybody's happy.
Well, we just need 997 more, and then we'll come away with our answer at the end of this.
There you go.
We can figure it out.
Yes.
All right.
We're only going to sell about 450 barrels at the end of the day.
That's small in comparison for what you all do on a larger scale for everything.
Yeah, it's microscopic, which is why it's so special.
How many case brand is Remus?
Remus last year, we finished 2020 at I'm not stuttering here because I don't know the number. I'm just trying to remember. We did 10,000 6-packs.
10,000.
Is that Repeal too?
In 16 states.
Wow.
And we did about 4,000 6-packs of Repeal Reserve. So,
how about Rossville?
Rossville, we
don't mean
did
to
about
drill
the
you.
same
I'm just
amount.
curious.
He's looking for financials.
Actually, your boss sent me a list of questions.
It's all good.
There's Barry Yankee. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we're scaled. If we were national right now, we'd be at close to 100,000 cases.
Wow,
so
that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we have grown.
Not to mention all the other brands that you also supply across the board as well. Let's be fair, it's probably like 30% of all the whiskey that's actually out there.
Yeah. No, I mean, Remus is our is just our happy child. I mean, we have grown in the 4 years we've had this. We've grown faster in the first 4 years than Woodford or Knob Creek grew. I mean, we're within the same, within 10% of volume, but our rate of sale is so much faster, and we're really blessed. I mean, we're thankful for that. I think it's because of the excitement about whiskey and bourbon, and because we are who we are at MGP. But Remus is a great product, and people are seeing it now, and we're scaling every month. I mean, it was we were like everybody during COVID Q2 last year. It was hard, but June, everybody woke up and said, I'm thirsty and I want to drink more bourbon. And every month after that, we doubled. I mean, it's been a great experience for us, and we're thankful for everybody who supports us, and we want to continue to grow. For
sure. All right, guys, we should probably start talking about the whiskey. Now we're starting to get to like 13 minutes at the top of the hour here. Should we try to eliminate one and then talk about the other two?
Sure.
And try to do that.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll go first in the one that I would like to eliminate between the two of them. I was actually going back and forth between, not to say which one to eliminate, but I was going and I retasted them all again. And I think I'm not the biggest fan of 572 at the end of it.
Interesting.
Wow.
I'm gonna veto that one.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. And Jordan, you're in luck because we got 3 people here, and so that means that there's always going to be at least one odd person out. So
he's got Caroline's text in his head, so he's like, "Oh,
no, it's not. It's not true. Like I do favor 549 right now. I will say that. But I still think 344 is another good one, and I had to go back to it because at first.
It does open up. It
opened up and it really changed for me. And unfortunately, I only have like this much left, so I'm trying to like savor the flavor on it a little bit. But
I think it's between 549 and 572 for me.
Same for me.
Okay, we'll push 344 out then.
Yep.
Now I can finish this, and I don't have to feel bad. Okay.
It did kind of open up to like a kind of orangey, creamsicle-y, kind of. But I thought the other two just had so much more going on that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to turn those down.
Well, now comes the harder part in figuring out which one are we going to go with. So I say go back, taste them for another minute or two, and then we'll reconvene. So don't go far, and we'll figure out exactly what we want here.
I'm gonna have to re-pour some stuff.
Report what you can. I was going to say, I was like, all right, actually, I got a little bit of 549 left.
Whoever did the sealing jobs on these samples did a bang-up job.
You're welcome. Yours truly. Over here.
Kenny.
One of them took me like 10 minutes to unwrap.
Kenny, these are 2 very, very different mash bills, so it's just interesting.
No, so one's a 95.5 rye.
No, they're both bourbons.
I'm just messing with you.
All right, so Uncle Shim.
Yeah, I was like, I like that. Uncle Shim. It should be his new username.
I mean, I just can't get. There's a little bit of cream on 549. I'm getting a little bit of cream, but mostly that like hot tamale, Caroline's Big Red Grum, and then I get a hint of like sassafras kind of on the finish on 549.
I would expect that.
And then 572, I kind of get, some cinnamon toast, like with brown sugar, butter, with a little bit of raisin syrup, creaminess kind of thing going on to it. I don't know if those are. Is that good enough, Uncle Shim?
This is why you're the best at the business in this, Ryan.
I definitely get a buttered toast type of note on that one too.
Yeah, it reminds me of like that. The swirl
bread, yeah.
The swirl bread, toasted with a lot of butter, and then they threw some of that hot honey that you just gave me, Kenny, on there.
Did you try it?
I did. Actually, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Shout out to our new sponsor, Fire Bee Honey. Good stuff right there. They sent us
it's funny. With 572, I would expect more liquid sweetness, and with 549, I would expect kind of more hard candy sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. But like the hot tamale and sassafras sticks out so much on 549. So it's like they're both like I'd be happy with both of them. It just depends what you want.
Yeah, they're different.
Jay says sassafras.
Yeah, like root beer.
Root beer, yep. Like Bark says bite.
Well, which of those two do you think is the higher proof?
Ooh, good question.
That's sneaky because
I bet you like within like 2 proof points of one another.
Because 549, I'm having a feeling like
you are a stud. I would say they are within 2 proof points.
572, I think, is the higher.
You're a winner. Kenny will get you a new car.
Pull the Corvette around.
Yeah, 572 is I'm gonna just round it up as 116.7. and 549 is 114.1. Both cast strength. Both of them were aged in brick warehouses, right? Not in the same warehouse, not on the same floor.
On the parking garage.
But on the same property. Right.
One's by level 1C, and the other one is by
C4 spot.
And I'll tell you this as well. They're different barrels.
I hope so.
And 572. Well, I mean, different barrel producers.
Yeah.
And 572 is 21%, and 549 is 36% high-rye bourbon.
Uh-oh.
That's what
You just sent me over my 549. Did I call it at the very beginning, Ryan, or what?
Well, I knew as soon as Caroline told you that, you were like just focused in on 549.
I swear it wasn't. It wasn't.
You put blinders on.
there was a bubblegum note. I didn't want to say it in case it wasn't the rye, but
Yeah.
Well,
they're both good. I'm having a hard time picking.
Yeah, it's like now comes the time to actually do a decision. I'm going to take my last swig as 572 here. So take some last swigs, figure out what you like, and then we'll put out which one's your favorite between the two. There literally cannot be a tie. So.
And by the way, there's no wrong answer.
There is if you don't agree with me, but
yeah,
no, I'm just kidding.
It's their show. It's not mine.
He's a dictator.
No, it's. I mean,
Jordan, we'll let you pick over us two.
I would say over the majority of these things, it doesn't seem like mine always wins. So let's be fair. I get.
It's why I'm the blender. No, I'm kidding.
It's true. I end up getting the. This is not Kenny's pick sticker on a lot of these things.
Gosh,
I think you have two really good bourbons.
This is tough because they're two totally different. So,
well, look, even Caroline just said, she goes, I had no knowledge of the mash bills when I know what the 540s are. So,
gosh, tough call.
It's like, do you want sweeter or bolder and spicier?
Yeah.
It's very true. It's very true. And that's what, I mean, sometimes you
go out on an evening.
Sorry, say it again, Andy.
What do you want on your glass? I mean, you come home, it's like, shit, I can kick the dog or I can have a great glass of bourbon. What do you want?
Oh, you poor dog.
You should put that on the labels.
Dog kicker. Right. This one's going to be called dog kicker.
I don't know how to make that one politically correct.
Yeah,
right?
PETA be all on our ass. We'll be canceled.
Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that. Well,
I'm literally gonna flip a coin. I don't know what to pick.
You know,
I'll give you 30 more seconds, and we'll come down to it. What were you about to say, Andy?
No, I think that's the greatest answer is flip a coin. I mean, thank you very much. I mean, these are great whiskeys. You can't go wrong. It's what you prefer. It's what you want to drink.
It's like at this moment, I prefer 572, but there's other moments what I would prefer 549. So it's hard. I'm just gonna let Jordan pick.
I mean,
you want to do that? You want to take me? I'll go 549. You go 572, and Jordan's the deciding vote here.
Yep.
All right. It's on you, Jordan. This is where the pressure comes in. Not to say that everybody's watching, but there's about 80 people that are.
And only about 972.
And there'll be about 950 other people inside of Patreon that's going to judge you because these were the bottles that we're going to sell to. So
I make decisions all day, so I'm going to try to mitigate the risk a little bit. And from what Ryan said, going on mood, I'm in a 572 mood.
572 it is.
So I'm not gonna overthink it.
Great choice.
It's all
you
good.
You made a great choice.
Hey.
Well, Whoever gets barrel 549, make sure you save a bottle for me somewhere in the United States. So. No, this was fun. Jordan, thank you again for kind of being the tiebreaker there. We needed somebody to be able to do that because I know sometimes Ryan and I will sit on both sides of this and we'll try to, we'll try to sell you. We'll try to say, what are you feeling tonight? And we'll try to give you a little wink and vote our way. But no, this was fun. So thank you, Jordan, for coming on. Hope you had a good time with your first barrel selection with us. It's always great to have people in our community be able to join us and be able to do that as well. So definitely appreciate the support too. And Andy, thank you so much for coming on as well.
My pleasure.
Answering all these questions and, letting people know what's up with, the merger and what you're doing. And now we know the inside baseball of if you're going to do a Remus pick, you better do it before March of every single year because that's the only time that they're going to do it. So this is now we know for next year.
True. And hey, Jordan, safe travels to Columbus and Dublin. And you can find our products there because they're great supporters of us. But
I'll be buying it.
Be safe and good luck with the move.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Good call, Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, stay on here for a second. I'm just going to do a sign off for everybody else before we end the broadcast. But people always wonder, like, how do you get these bottles? How do you get your hands on them? How are you be like Jordan and you can come on the show and select a barrel with us? This is all part of the private barrel program as a part of Bourbon Pursuit. So you can go to bourbonpursuit.com and you can click the link at the top that says Barrel Club. And there is all the information that you need there as regards of FAQs. What do you get? Distribution? How does shipping work? Who's our retail partners? Like everything like that is all on there. So you can go and check that out. And that's how you help not only support the podcast and really what helps Ryan and I continue to keep doing what we've been doing and have great guests on like Andy to kind of tell the story behind the brands and a lot of other great guests as well. So make sure you go and you support us. And we thank you all very, very much for all the support we've been getting through 6 years now. Long time. I mean, Ryan, when we first started, we were just sitting in your basement, huddled around a microphone. Could we imagine 6 years later that we'd be selecting 40 barrels a year? We'd have 950 paying supporters of the podcast. We'd launch our own whiskey company. We'd be hanging out with, the elites of Andy Mancini on the show. Like, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't have the capacity to think like that back then. So it's truly a blessing. And I always say we don't take it lightly and don't take it for granted. So truly thankful for everyone and happy 6 years, Kenny, and to everyone. We'll keep showing up. So hopefully,
happy birthday.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Cheers. All right, guys, stay on. But thank you, everybody else that joined in. We will be back again Thursday night with an Old Forester barrel proof selection.
Ooh, very good.
Oh, yeah. We are right on track to do another 40 barrels that we're going to select this year. So we are not slowing down. And now that Shem is at the helm, it only speeds up and more opportunities seem to find themselves. So
yeah, he's better than Kenny.
He does an awesome job. That is for sure. All right. Good. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in and make sure you come back in for Thursday night for Old Forester Barrel Proof. Until then, cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thank you all.